What I wanted to ask you, did you see that TikTok video with that cop playing LeBron?
No.
Like he's driving around,
Uh-huh.
he's got a phone, and he's like, he's like, hey, you guys stop shooting. Oh, wait, hold on, I got LeBron James on the phone. LeBron James, what do you think we should do? And then LeBron James, like he pretended like LeBron James told him like not to do nothing. He's like, all right, go ahead, I can't arrest you, I'm out of here. It got 2.4 million views on TikTok, right?
That's crazy.
And then, and then the police department of that particular guy, because it was a real cop, come in and say, we're going to deal with this internally. I wanted to ask you, because I see tons of cops now on TikTok. Should police be using social media in the ways that they do to be clowning and joking? And also the same thing that goes for the military? Because at least in the military, it's a little different as young guys. But for the PD, I'm like, don't act like your shit is clean, bro. Should you be clowning right now?
Again, it depends on who the cop is. If it's a cop who, let's say, for instance, was a Derek Chauvin, has 17 fucking complaints against him, like somebody who's a bad cop or who's known to be a racist on the force, or who known to be, whoever on the force, you shouldn't be joking. You should be either fired, reprimanded, or just stay off altogether. Now, you have some of those guys, like, that's funny. And that's okay. That brings awareness to, let's say, whatever the police department is, and say, hey, listen, this guy has a sense of humor. Now, what if when that cop who's a little famous, let's just say what is 15 seconds of fame.
4 million sounds like an Insta famous to me, bro.
So now when you go into your community, say, hey, listen, I work in such and such county. I'm this police officer. You guys know me from this thing. Hey, if I respond to domestic violence in this way, I respond to child abuse in this way, I respond to a claim of somebody being, I don't know, a theft this way. Like, at least you know who your police officers are in your community, because there's not enough police community joint ventures where the community knows exactly who the cops are. It's very, very few where you would be like, oh, I know Officer Perez. Yeah, that person, she's cool. She's tough. We can't sell drugs here. She makes sure, or we can't be fucking partying at 12 o'clock at night. They're going to come fuck up our shit. We got to be respectful, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We could play music from 10 to 8. Like, build that camaraderie with the community, the police chief in that community. And I think it'll be fine for police to keep using social media. How about I think it'll be dope, put out social media with the police saying, hey, listen, if you're getting pulled over, this is the right steps you should take. If a police officer says you should do this, that is not our policy. That police officer is wrong. Put out some steps where it shows to the community that you're taking steps to show that there are going to be some bad apples within our department, and here are what they can do, and here what they can't do in a traffic stop, or in a regular stop, or coming to your house. How about do that? So the California Police Department comes out and says, listen, when a police officer comes to your door, these are your rights, X, Y, and Z. The police officer can't enter your premises on these X, Y, and Z. You're allowed to film. If we ask you to back up or ask you to be across the street, whatever the case may be, we ask you for these reasons, why? And then list the reasons why. I think they could do better with a community outreach that way.
I think that's actually solid. That's actually an interesting point, because I was just looking at it from the lens of like, bro, you shouldn't be clowning it, even though it was comedy. Mm-hmm. But definitely, I mean, social media now is like the new TV, right? And it would definitely be better if they did have some spokespersons, especially from the police, that are out there talking about certain things and saying, hey, this is how you should kind of handle stuff like this. I know that I think it's called Legal Pop Brothers. Shout out to them on Instagram.
They're hilarious.
Those dudes are like, shut the fuck up and get arrested, basically. Is all they tell you to fucking do, which makes a lot of sense. But again, that is coming, even if they are legal or even if they are lawyers, they are giving their point of view from the white bias, right? And so they're not like black guys saying that. So then that also brings it up on a whole nother can of worms.